Hey there folks, Uncle Troy here. Today we're answering more questions about the Samsung HMX-F80 camera. This is what it looks like, by the way. Complete with fold-out screen, more controls, etc. You don't see this very often in my videos because usually I'm taking the video with this camera. But there was a question about the batteries. Did this thing use standard store-bought batteries? Did it have its own battery pack, whatever? And it has its own battery pack. You can actually eject the battery, and I have mail. You can eject the battery like this. It's a tiny little lithium-ion battery, I think 3.7 volts, and it's very light. In fact, it's so light that I thought that they had not given me an actual battery. I thought that I'd gotten the store display model or something. But it goes back in here. You charge it in, goes back there. It goes back in there. You charge it in the camera because you have a little charging jack right here. A standard mini USB port here, and a standard AC adapter here. You charge the battery in the camera, so getting an extra battery wouldn't do you much good because you can't charge it outside of the camera. So what do you do if you're recording something longer than battery life? Well, you can operate the camera while you have it plugged in. In fact, they recommend that for time-lapse or overnight recording, whatever. Charging cable also doubles as your computer interface. This plugs into a standard USB jack on your computer. You can use it to, I think, download stuff from the camera into the computer. I don't know because I never do that. Actually, what I do is I just simply pop out this little memory card, plug it into the reader on my computer. Now, what if you want to record something longer than your battery life, but you do not have a place to plug this in? You say, well, I've got a laptop, I've got some other power supply that this will plug into. Can I just plug this into any old USB thing? And the official answer is no. Officially, you're only supposed to charge the camera from this little power brick. It puts out, I think, 750 milliamps of current at 5 volts. Your standard USB port on your computer is only rated up to 500 milliamps, and actually they default to 100 milliamps, and then supposedly you're supposed to go through some kind of negotiation thing through software to ramp it up to the full 500. So odds are, whatever you plug this into cannot provide the 750 milliamps of charging current that this thing does. And in fact, when I've attempted to charge this camera with a standard USB jack, it has said something like invalid power supply. Please use only a approved power supply. It actually says that on the screen here. So what I have done, and again, this is not recommended, I have cheated. I have started the camera recording, say time lapse or whatever, and then I've plugged it into the USB port, and it appears to charge. And you don't get that error unless you stop recording and then try to start again, then it does the check. But it's a possibility that will damage the camera, and that will damage your computer's USB port. In my case, I've got my stereo in my truck has a USB jack. It's not designed for charging things. In fact, the manual specifically says don't try to charge your phone from it. It's designed for these things, these little USB flash drives. And I just love these that draw back in on themselves. Just the greatest thing ever, let me tell you. You can put, about 1,000 MP3s that you've downloaded legally from various places, plug it into the stereo, play it, or in my case, plug in your camera. Again, not recommended procedure. And use that to record, say, long videos of you on road trips or whatever. So, I hope that answers your question about the batteries. The battery life, I have never used one of these long enough to actually run the battery down, so I don't know. I believe the battery life is rated like more than an hour. Like I said, you can run it off the power adapter if it's going to be longer. You can buy extra batteries and swap them out. Or you can do like I did, which is, again, not recommended procedure, and run it off an unapproved USB power supply. Alrighty, if you have any more questions about the Samsung HMX-F80 camera, just leave them in the comment section below. Obviously, this video was not recorded with the camera. It was recorded with the Logitech HD C510 webcam with a ugly blue background back here because you don't want to see the mess behind me. Alright, like I said, any other questions, leave a comment below. This is Uncle Troy signing off. Please have a good night.